grabando. Sí, nena, porque estamos en noviembre, pero aquí afuera está
Ya veré.
súper. Yo dije, pues voy a aprovechar a hacer esto aquí afuera. ¿Ah? ¿Qué?
Aprovechalo.
Exacto. ¿Cómo está todo?
Bien tranquilo. Adriana encabrona, pero eso es culpa de ella.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué le pasa?
Tú sabes que a ella le dan esos arrebatos de encabronamiento con todo.
Está lloviendo. Oigo
Está lloviendo, amaneció lloviendo. Ay, está lloviendo todos estos días. Están apareciendo goteras donde no había.
Qué chévere.
Y pues, no hay plomero, no aparece. Y yo no lo voy a pelear. Hoy es domingo, no hay nada que hacer hoy. Hoy no se consigue a nadie.
No.
Incluso estaba buscando a uno y cuando chequeé a ver, estaban en Pensilvania. Yo, pero qué carajo esta loquera que me están... Yo pido plomeros en Ponce, me aparece un nieve plumbing. Yo lo busco y yo, ¿dónde está esto? Cuando miro el mapa en Pensilvania, yo, esto quiere decir que yo no tengo que seguir buscando un carajo.
Tiene que haber un plomero en Ponce, en Juana Díaz o algo así que pueda ir para allá. Puede ser.
Te contaste, o sea, la última vez el que yo tenía, resulta que tenía la mano jodida. Y me dio el número del que encontré, o apareció el que resolvió lo del inodoro, que fue un milagro. Eso fue que yo llamé, a la media hora estaba aquí y tú sabes.
Sí, esas cosas que son milagrosas.
Anyway, se perdieron los clientes porque la cabrona de Adri estaba por yo no sé dónde, no pudo decirle a los que venían que llegaran una hora más tarde. Pues yo estaba esperando que fuera más tarde para ver cómo se daba la situación porque yo me levanté a las 6 de la mañana ayer y da la casualidad que el muchacho que se estaba quedando ya se había ido, o sea que ya a las 7 de la mañana yo había terminado de limpiar el apartamento, estaba lavando sábanas y buscando plomero a la misma vez. Entonces encontré, claro, no iba a llamar a las 7 de la mañana a nadie, así que esperé a las 8, que es una hora razonable para hacer llamadas. Y me dijo que no venía para Ponce, que andaban por Mayagüez y que no venían para Ponce hasta el miércoles. Ayer era sábado. Y pues está bien, yo te llamo el miércoles por la mañana si de aquí a allá no he conseguido. Llamé a otro, le dejé mensaje en la grabadora, nunca me devolvió llamada. Llamé a otro, me dijo estoy en en Sabana Grande, pero esta tarde yo paso por allá. Estaba esperando que llegara el de Sabana Grande al mediodía antes de llamar a Adri, porque quería saber si la situación era arreglable o no. Pero queda la mala pata que antes de que el tipo me llamara, Adri me mandó un mensaje casi para el mediodía que habían alquilado el apartamento. Y yo, ay, lo siento, pero esta es la situación que hay. Y entonces le expliqué lo que había. Le dije que iba a tratar porque yo desenchufé el calentador a ver si era que el calentador estaba funcionando mal y era lo que estaba impidiendo que pasara el agua. Pero se me ocurrió, sácalo completo. A ver si es una cuestión física del calentador y no depende de la electricidad. Así que fui y lo removí. Y entonces creí que se lo había explicado a Adriana, mira, esto va a requerir plomero porque la situación viene de adentro de la tubería de la casa, no depende del calentador. Y me empezó a escribir, cámbialo por el tuyo de tu baño. Y yo, ¿qué parte tú sabes, de que es de la tubería de la casa no entendí?
No es el calentador.
Yo no me explico por qué tú quieres llamar al plomero si no quieres hacer todo lo que puedes hacer, que si esto, que si lo otro, y por ahí se despotricó. Y yo, mira, no hay nada que hacer. Lo que es jodido apartamento, está en un nuevo aviso, pues que no podemos alquilar un apartamento sin ducha donde la gente no se puede bañar porque no hay bañera, lo único que hay es ducha. Pero había otra quedándose y me pregunta, ahorita me escribió, y Shelly, ¿todo bien? Y yo, sí, ¿y tú? Me dice, pues en la montaña rusa, ahí. Ella le llama, tú sabes, la montaña rusa, lo que es.
Sí, sí.
Yo le puse el emoji que está vomitando. Yo le puse, no te marees.
Ay, mamá.
No te marees, porque qué carajo, tú sabes, ya estamos al tanto de que somos nosotros los que nos enfiernamos, los que nos metemos en el infierno solitos.
Bien brutal.
Así que pues no hay razón para no reírnos. Que
Definitivamente.
llegó, Angélica no lo ha puesto, pero ya subieron en speaker los comentarios de la película de Man Who Knew Too Little.
Ah, ok.
Yo no sabía cuál era esa película porque no recuerdo haberla visto.
Nunca la he visto.
¿Tú la viste?
No.
Ok. Aparentemente es una película de Bill Murray.
Sí.
Que él es como lo contrario a The Game o lo contrario a Groundhog Day, pero no es una metafísica como Groundhog Day. Es una más como The Game. Pero
Ok.
que el personaje principal se cree que está en un juego que su hermano le está regalando de cumpleaños. Así que él interpreta todas las cosas como si él fuera un actor dentro de la película que su hermano. Pero lo cómico de la película es que las cosas están aparentemente pasando de verdad. Pero como el estado mental de él, de que es un juego de un teatro imaginario, que todos son artistas, pues él está interactuando con todos estos gantes, con todas estas figuras de peligro, con todas estas situaciones extremas, creyéndose que todo es un teatro. O sea, que es lo opuesto, ¿no?
Sí, sí, sí.
Y entonces, pues, la invitación es esa, a que nuestra mentalidad puede hacer de que esto sea tan teatral para nosotros que literalmente no dejemos que nos afecte y
Ajá.
podamos dejar que una mentalidad recta nos guíe para que esto sea todo como una comedia y que aprendamos a reírnos de todo lo que nos pasa porque en verdad eso es lo que es.
Exacto.
Claro, no desde la mentalidad del individuo no lo podemos ver así, pero si nos sepamos por encima de la película y nos reconocemos como el soñador, es posible estar aquí sabiendo que somos invulnerables eternamente y disfrutarnos al máximo de lo que pase, sabiendo que no nos puede afectar en nada.
Uh-huh.
Así que pues en ese sentido está bien a tono con el nivel que estamos practicando, ¿no? El nivel existencial en el que estamos experimentando esto. Así que si la chequeas, por ahora lo único que han subido es el speaker que es en inglés, que es el original, con las preguntas del miércoles, y el speaker que es en español, con la traducción de Marina.
De Marina.
Ajá, eso fue lo que dije, Marina.
Ok, yo entendí María.
No, es que tenía un gajo de saliva aquí y parece que tuve que acortar la M para... Pero mi mente dijo Marina.
Ok.
Escuché esta noche, voy a ver si de verdad dije Marina la primera vez o no. Ayer me tiré el nuestro, hicimos hora y cuarto ayer, qué maratón.
Sí, no lo vi completo, lo miré así por encima porque es que ayer fuimos para Río, y cuando llegué pues cociné y nos pusimos, Adi está enredado en un show que ya yo había visto, que se llama The Good Place.
Yo lo vi.
Yo lo había visto, pero que ahora es otra cosa. Y entonces pues me senté ahí, estaba que veo también y estuvimos horas. En verdad nos estábamos riendo bien brutal. Pero
Qué
que
bien.
sí, pero ese show está bueno para terminar.
Ahora todo está bueno, Astrid. Te lo juro que todo está bueno ahora, todo lo que pase en los shows de la televisión y lo que pase en...
Sí,
Te lo digo porque estoy viendo una película australiana que, que es con un tema de esos bien trillados eh, es como de estos temas de adolescentes, de gimnasia y cosas
ok,
así.
ok.
Y lo estoy viendo con el Espíritu Santo y a la misma vez estoy agradeciendo porque estoy viendo una cosa tan porquería y a la misma vez le estoy sacando tanto y tanto provecho, que es magnífico.
Sí, ahora se puede ver cualquier cosa.
Exacto, y se puede enfrentar también cualquier situación porque no es distinto.
Sí,
Ya sabemos que no es distinto
sí.
y sabemos que pensar lo contrario es un engaño que no nos tenemos que seguir haciendo. O sea, ya estamos en un nivel de honestidad que el papel de víctima no nos cae de ninguna
No,
manera.
no, es que no, es que cuando es ¿cómo es la palabra? Irrisorio.
Ajá.
Cuando pasa, ¿sabes? Porque viene la tentación y es como que me voy a meter ahí.
¿Qué me ofrece eso?
Absolutamente nada. Pura miseria.
No, mira, nada que ver.
Bueno, pues,
Dale, que
el-
esa lección de hoy va bien pegadita. Es como si todo se estuviera
sí,
unificando.
brutal.
Estamos entrando al hoyo negro. Mira, ¿tú le avisaste al pájaro este o decidiste no decirle
Yo
nada?
pensé, mi pensamiento fue nosotros aquí hacer la lección y después mandarle un mensaje, decirle que estábamos aquí.
Para
Decir,
hacer algo aparte con él en inglés y no tenerlo que grabar.
sí,
Sí,
eso es lo
porque
que
yo creo que él no está consciente de que nosotros estamos subiendo esto a YouTube.
yo creo que no. Después que yo lo subí, yo dije, pues no le dije nada. Pues, pero con los tres gatos que nos ven, que
Que nadie va a saber quién carajo es anyway. Además, tampoco se dijo nada
no,
muy
no sé,
invasivo, pero
pero
sí,
tú
sí,
sabes que
estamos
yo,
claras, pensamos lo mismo, estamos en la misma.
sí,
Nada
pero
más que decir.
pues tú sabes, quiero darle la oportunidad a la gente de siempre, si alguien viene, pues mira, esto lo grabamos. Y como lo hacemos nosotros, porque hay veces donde paramos la grabación, si es que nos sentimos muy
Mira, y
expuestos.
Angélica, ¿has sabido algo de ella?
Oh, no, muchachos, ella está enamorada, olvídate de eso.
¿Viste el retrato que te mandé?
No, qué retrato.
Búscate tú,
¿Por dónde lo enviaste?
espérate, tu Messenger.
Messenger, aquí yo Messenger yo no lo miro. Ah, sí, yo había visto esa foto. Creo que ese,
Ese fue como el que la intuición me dijo, míralo ahí.
qué lindo. Sí es él, qué lindo.
Vamos a ver cuando ella lo revele, a ver si es
Yo creo que
verdad o
sí,
no.
porque yo tuve el mismo pensamiento cuando vi esa foto.
Exacto,
Ya se ve muy feliz. Que muchas bendiciones para ella.
claro que sí.
Aparecerá cuando
Que
tenga.
las va a necesitar.
Ella está clara, ella está clara, ella está.
Mira, olvídate de eso, yo creía que estaba bien claro antes de que llegara Antonio.
Pues, pero eso fue beneficioso, o sea, la experiencia
Ah,
de
no, claro, pero de que hubo que bregar, o sea,
siempre. Hasta todavía nosotros con nuestros hijos.
con todo, con el cuerpo.
Sí, con absolutamente
Yo me
todo.
levanté hoy a las 4 de la mañana sin sueño.
Yo
Me
también,
quedé, yo me lo imaginé que o tú o Gary estaban desvelados.
sí, pero yo volví a agarrar el sueño bastante rápido.
Pues yo como a las 5:30 me levanté, yo dije, ok. Pero estaba, tú sabes, bien, tan feliz como si fuera cualquier
Sí.
otra hora. O sea, no había como que...
Pero fue a esa hora que yo me levanté y pues fui al baño y me volví a acostar y agarré el sueño rápido, pero fue así, ¡clon! Yo, wow, yo podría empezar el día hoy, ahora mismo.
Sí, porque uno se siente bien.
Sí, todo bien. Pues mira, pues la voy a leer. La lección de hoy es la 313. Que venga a mí ahora una nueva percepción. Esa es la que estamos, ¿verdad? Sí.
Sí, sí.
Que venga ahora, que venga a mí ahora una nueva percepción. Padre, hay una visión que ve todas las cosas sin mancha alguna de pecado, lo cual indica que el miedo ha desaparecido y que en su lugar se ha invitado al amor. Y este vendrá donde quiera que se le invite. Esta visión es tu regalo. Los ojos de Cristo contemplan un mundo perdonado. Ante su vista todos los pecados del mundo quedan perdonados, pues Él no ve pecado alguno en nada de lo que contempla. Permite que su verdadera percepción venga a mí ahora para poder despertarme del sueño de pecado y ver mi impecabilidad en mi interior, la cual tú has conservado completamente inmaculada en el altar a tu Santo Hijo, el ser con quien quiero identificarme. Contemplémonos hoy los unos a los otros con los ojos de Cristo. Qué bellos somos. Ay, qué bellos somos. Cuán santos y amorosos.
100%.
Hermano, ven y únete a mí hoy. Salvamos al mundo cuando nos unimos. Pues en nuestra visión el mundo se vuelve tan santo como la luz que mora en nosotros. Que venga a mí ahora una nueva percepción. Sí, eso es lo que estábamos hablando.
Exacto, todo está alineado.
Ah, sí, mega
Estamos
alineado.
como Walter Mercado, todos los planetas están alineados. Mucho amor. Bueno, pues mándale el mensaje al pájaro este, porque yo no tengo ganas de estar mucho rato aquí hoy.
Pues deja ver si tengo
Tú
dónde.
sabes que yo me estoy oliendo que él entiende español.
Él entiende un poquito.
Y esa gente que entiende un poquito más del poquito que dicen entender.
Este,
Mire que eso de ir a un río allá arriba en noviembre, ¿qué carajo es esto?
pues
A
aquí
tirar piedras, ¿verdad? Porque no es a meterse.
los nenes se metieron.
Ay,
Es
mi
un frío
madre.
brutal. Y nosotros fuimos con Gebeo y, los dos de ella, ¿verdad? Nosotros cuatro. Hay un río por aquí como, qué sé yo, 20 minutos.
Y caben todos en el mismo carro.
No,
O se
no,
van en dos carros.
vamos en 2 carros. Entonces, pues nada, fue bien cómico porque nos vamos, ¿verdad? Porque nos parqueamos en un sitio y hay que caminar como 45 minutos, pero es cuesta, tú sabes, bajando y subiendo bastante fuerte. Y fuimos
Por
tardecito,
eso es que a mí no me dan ganas de ir para ningún lado. Yo pienso en la trayectoria de llegar y se me quitan las ganas inmediatamente.
estuvo un poco fuerte. Y cuando llegamos, todo chévere y qué sé yo, pero de momento se oyen un montón de tiros. Mira, está entrando ahí. Deja ver.
Sí.
Ahora vamos a pasar al inglés.
Hey Gary, how are you?
Very, very good.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Astrid. Looks like a nice day in Baltimore.
It is. It's very nice. It's like in the 70s right now.
Beautiful.
I'm
Beautiful.
out on my porch.
Nice color behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just making some oatmeal, so I might disappear off the screen for a moment here and there.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're just, yeah, we read our lesson in Spanish, and then I sent you a message. What lesson are you on?
I'm on 73.
70. Is this your first time around?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm finding there's just tremendous similarities, you know, as you go through all of these,
Yeah.
there's links and connections to 313 and 73. So
They
Yeah.
all say the same thing with different words.
I need to add her here. There she is.
Hi. They all say the same shit with different words. It's all
Exactly.
the same.
It's all the same.
Exactly.
I think
Because-
human beings are a little dense, and so we need repetition.
Exactly. You're right. That's it.
Yeah.
The only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a holographic. You just have to open one part of the book and it just it tells you the same thing over and over again
Yeah.
all the time.
And like I've said, I've done the non-dual teaching for so long. I don't think there's going to be a tremendous challenge to stay, you know, with you guys, regardless of the fact that you're nearing the end.
I think, yeah, there's no beginning, there's no end. It's just now.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the ultimate question. What I'm feeling right now. Who am I right now? What I'm doing right now. You know, what is the purpose? What I want to remember, what I want to see.
Yes.
What purpose it has this moment for me. And, you know, that's a very deep question that only the self can fulfill the answer that has meaning, real meaning, because it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. You only know the reason why you do it. And that's as intimate as you can ever be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the real honesty and the real intimacy.
Yeah.
And in that purpose, you can either join with everything or not join. And that's your gain or your loss. Because the thing that I didn't mention yesterday that I wanted just to say quickly is that the real difference is that this path will make sure that you don't leave anything behind, that you don't leave anything that is not recognized as part of your choice of thinking, and to recognize it to a level that it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, because it's only unreal.
Or real.
And at the level of unreal, there is no good and there is no bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not talking about anything in physical form. We're just talking about a judgment of the mind on itself.
Yes, and when we spoke yesterday about me leaving the monastery and many years ago, you leaving Mexico, there's an acceptance of what's true within, which allows for a decision to be made as to whether one stays where they are or whether one leaves where they are. So the acceptance is of what it's accepting the world for what it is, but it's accepting also the sense of self within that is saying, yeah, I'm just not feeling it here. And so for me, I mean, and that's more of a question than it is a definitive statement. I'm not stating that so much as, yeah, I sat there and it was time for me to go because that's what it felt like inside.
Yeah, you feel like gratitude for the moment and whatever you learn from the moment and your truth to yourself. And ultimately, as I told you, you just learn to accept instead of searching outside or waiting for something in the outside to complete you or to take you to another level, just accept that in this moment you can be all just by choosing it.
So the story ends up being all the descriptors of those other people and where they were and what their stories were and blah, blah, blah. That isn't important.
No, it's what you do with that.
That's what I do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can either be there and happy and joyful or leave and be happy and joyful, but know that they are one with you.
Yes.
They are one with you in the error and they are one with you in truth.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
the totality. That's the totality
Yeah.
that you get to accept. Yes, I think I'm here. I think I'm in a body. I know that is not true, but I have feelings that tell me that. I have senses that attest to that. And how do I deal with that? Well, first I have to recognize that I made it. Nobody did it to me. And then second, I have to recognize that I don't have to be serious about it.
Right.
And that whatever I want to be serious or condemnatory, it's only because I don't want to accept that their own irreality is as real as my own irreality.
Yeah.
Because I am trying to make a difference because I'm better than them. And that is ridiculous for the mind that wants to be awakened right now. Because, awakening is always. Just as peace is always, and happiness is always, and love is always. Doesn't matter what you believe you are. They are always readily available at your choice. In every thought that you decide. So if you decide to remember that everything in the illusion is you, as well as everything in reality, the transition, you remember that I told you that the ego and whatever symbol you have for your connection with the eternal, doesn't matter the name, but the course talks to it about like the Holy Spirit. So I will talk in that wording. I know sometimes I came from Catholicism and it took me a long time to accept the words, but at this moment, they're only words and that's it, just symbols of what it's unexplainable. So just as we cannot explain the ego because the ego has no reason at all and no significance and that's where you want to go to the I do not know to get away from the I know mine or become like children or ask for a new meaning or ask for to see this differently. All those terms that point to the same direction of surrender because you don't fucking know. And until you get to that moment, you will be so self-invested that you won't be able to understand anything because your true reality cannot know nothing of the ego. And our confusion is trying to understand and to learn and to go outside, to go grasp something else that what is, other than what is, other person, other place, other philosophy, other vacation, other car, other whatever, other
Their partner.
other breathe, other, how you call that when you inhale, another inhalation, it's as complicated and as simple as breathing because it's all the same. But, you love yourself, you are willing to sit there and to be quiet. And as I told you, you will explode. Doesn't matter because it's yourself calling yourself.
Yes.
And eventually you will understand with happiness that you cannot make any decision. It's impossible that you can make any decision, right or wrong. And then you start to laugh more. And then the course has another item that at first is seen like with regret by the ego, which is the thing that the script is written. I don't know if you have heard that it's kind of in the line of whether determination or free will, something like that. And the course tells you, listen, this is done. You know, you're just seeing a past that has already passed over and no consequences whatsoever it had in your eternal state. When you really, really, really experience that, there can be no worries about anything, no questions. You just take, you know, it sounds like very simple, and it is like that phrase like sounds like cheesy, like it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's so true when you really live it, and it's so liberating, and you find so many fables and little parables of many ancient sages and saints that point to that same story, that it is what it is.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, that brings us certainty. So I hope you enjoy your oatmeal.
Well, it's steel cut, so it takes forever to make, but it's all fine. Yeah.
It gets to a point where you are como se dice vacío, like you have no
Empty.
words, you're empty of words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes Adriana calls me and it's like, I have nothing to say. And I'm like, I have nothing to say either. And we just laugh. Ha ha ha.
But it's
And
true.
we end up with a video of 40 minutes after that.
Yeah. But we do a transition. It's like, well, I can talk about the stuff that is happening in the forum if you want. And I go ahead.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it gets to that point, and it's very joyful, and it's not a true emptiness like the ego would, because for the ego, emptiness is horrible, right? But it's an emptiness where you're full. Because you're empty of opinions, and you're empty of judgments and evaluations, and you're just full of expansive love and security and just acceptance. And that's our true state. So once we start to experience that, whatever the ego comes to offer us, there's the temptation is always going to come up, but we know too much. Like we might enter into an egoic state, but we're quick to let that go. And that's through the experience that the Holy Spirit gives us. And that's the learning, right? That's the learning. Being in that experience, and that totality, then you don't want to be in the egoic state too long.
At all.
At all.
At all.
We're quick
Yeah.
to.
At all. We know better. It's not that we know too much, because we don't know fuck, but we know better for sure.
Yeah.
I was meaning to ask you, what is what would be your word for what we talked about, like the Holy Spirit? Do you have any favorite word that you're comfortable using for that?
No, I mean, like I said, I've been in this arena for a long time, and words just sort of come and go, and descriptors come and they go. And
so you're not uncomfortable if we talk about the part that is one with us and God, and is one with everybody.
No.
But you get the symbol, ¿verdad? You have worked with it before.
Yeah.
That is like a spirit self that is all in all, and it's in everything. It doesn't stop in human beings or material or organic things, or no. It covers everything.
How can it? Yeah.
Okay, it's all.
It's boundless.
Okay, perfect.
Boundless.
And it has no time, no space. It's
Nothing.
everything. And yet it is in every and each of us, and we can see it. We can see it when we talk about vision or Christ vision. It's that what we see, which sometimes is referred to as light, but it's not really light as we know light. It's
Right.
it's light of knowledge. It's not light of truth, of love. What is called God in the course is that the unity of that.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
I understand
Yeah,
that,
I just wanted to.
ego has created symbols so that it knows not only how to navigate the dream state, but how to take possession of it.
Yeah, all is it actually, according to the mythology of the course, the ego is everything in time and space.
Yes.
And what seems to be available for us in time in time and space is not in time and space. It's
Right.
outside of time and space, which is the remembrance of God, which is called the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. So let's party. What else? Bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no need to be worried. I was talking to Astrid about a movie that I don't know if you know David Hofmeister. Sometimes he plays some movies with the people that are staying or subscribed to a channel, but they later on put the recordings for free, either in speaker, I think it's in speaker first, which is only audio, and then they put it, I think, in the YouTube form, which is then it's audio and video.
It's David's commentary on the movies that
Oh,
we watch.
yeah.
Okay, you know about that. Well, the
Yeah,
latest
movie
one that
watcher's
they,
guide.
Yeah.
okay, well, the latest one that they put for free in speaker, it's about a movie that is called The Man That Knew Too Little. Have you seen that? It's a Bill Murray comedy.
I think so.
Okay, the story is about something like, you remember The Game with Michael Douglas and Champagne?
Yes.
Okay, something like that, like the brother gives the gift to another brother, but in this case, the brother knows about the gift and thinks that what is happening to him is the gift that the brother is giving him, and he
The
is
game.
passing through a series of, it's like the theater of life, the name of the game, but he's actually going through a series of motions that are real, but in his mind perceives that it's the game that his brother gave him as a gift. So he's going in an innocent state of mind through a series of dangerous situations that become hilarious just because of the fact that he thinks that is all
It's
a
just a
game.
game.
It's all
So that will be the state of mind that is suggested for us to embark on this journey of seeming real things that are not real at all.
Right.
So if you get a hold of that, I was listening to it, and I identified a lot with what the experience of me watching this movie. You know, it's about.
Does it feel like it's a movie that is best with David's commentary or without? Probably better with, huh?
I think that
Whichever.
it doesn't matter. Like at this point, for me, I can watch any movie without the comment,
Yes.
but it's always beneficial. I mean, it's always like a reinforcement.
Exactly. You say that motherfucker thinks like I think. I should be doing well. I'm isolated here in no man's island in the end of the world, and I'm thinking just what this guy is thinking. So maybe I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, it helps a lot.
it's good. It's helpful. But for me now, we were talking about that earlier, that for me, I can watch anything. We were talking about anything, and it's always beneficial if you stop and watching it with the Holy Spirit, because the interpretation or the reinterpretation always comes in. And everything isn't, you can enjoy anything, everything.
Yes.
Even movies that supposedly are bad movies or bad productions, or there's always something there that can be used, because the Holy Spirit can use absolutely anything for the awakening of the mind. So it's a great way to live, because it's always it's living with the purpose in front all the time. And after practicing vigilance for so long, that becomes second nature. That becomes like the purpose of your life. You open your eyes and it's present. That purpose is present. The Holy Spirit is present, or the recognition that the Holy Spirit is present all the time. And in everything that supposedly seemingly happens, every interaction with every person, every situation, that presence of the Holy Spirit is there, or that purpose is there always. And like Adriana was saying, what is the purpose? What is this going to be used for? And the hands of the Holy Spirit obviously is for the awakening of the mind. So that's actually, I mean, for me, it's the only way to live. It's like a lifestyle. Like Francis Wu said, forgiveness is a lifestyle. That's her lifestyle.
Yes.
That becomes a lifestyle of how you live. And then you become you become kinder, you become peaceful, loving.
Cabrona, seguiste grabando.
See. Oh, I forgot to tell you that we, I don't know if I had mentioned it to you, but we record our sessions and I put them on YouTube. And I have forgot to tell you that. If that was something that you didn't want, I forgot to tell you. Recording.
Damn. My witness protection has been blown.
Yeah.
Your cover.
Your cover has been blown. But totally. I mean, also
when she invited me, I didn't know either.
Well.
So it was something that I said, well, fuck it, yeah, okay, don't worry.
Because I always, I like to give people the option of not recording. And at some point, also sometimes if there's something that's coming up that you don't want recorded, you can say, please, can you stop the recording? And we do that. But it comes to a point, I mean, we don't do that anymore. Like at the beginning, maybe at the beginning.
I can't imagine that there's something I need to hide.
There's a purpose in at least for me, has been exposing and getting over myself.
So do you post it? You post it publicly then on YouTube? So
on YouTube, yeah, but there's not a lot of subscribers.
No.
We probably get like 3 or 4 views, and of those 4 views, one is Adriana, another is mine.
I recycle it in the afternoon as part of my meditation.
And then
make sure that I know how to get onto it so I can at least be one more subscriber.
Okay, yeah, it's on YouTube.
Sí, es Astrid. That's her name. It's the channel.
Just that? You're both first and last?
My first and last name, mine. That's the name of the channel.
Okay.
And so you can see all of the 312 videos.
Awesome.
They are in Spanish. Well, you can use it for your if you're still going, like you can find 72, but it's in Spanish. Well, maybe
that's the problem.
You can try to pick up some of the bad words or something. The curse words.
We curse a lot.
Good.
A lot.
Good.
A lot. Like, yeah, a lot. So,
all right, so I will watch it in Spanish just to kind of keep my head straight, because I won't know most of the bad words.
You'll see the progression of our hairstyles.
Ah, nice. Nice.
It's funny. It's funny. But yeah, that's something that we've been doing, and it's, I mean, at some point it's just like, I think that those videos have everything. We've been angry, we've been crying, we've been, you know, happy, laughing, everything. So it's more of an of exposing and getting over that ego identity.
Yeah.
And we always end up laughing anyway.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of getting together. As I told you yesterday, it's like when you're having a nightmare and someone gives you a hand and say, hey, this is a nightmare, come with me. Because, you know, we're dreaming. So
Yes.
we don't have nightmares here. And then you have like somebody that you can trust, that you can go to listen and say, I'm feeling that. And
Yeah.
very quickly you will be reflected, because we're not together by chance. They are not encounters by chance. You know, you're with everybody all the time, but with the ones that you need to be in physical contact, that's not a chance. When they come to you as a thought, they come to you for blessing, so you can bless yourself at the same time. Because that's all we're doing. We're just one. So we're continuously reinforcing in ourselves what is our mission here, which is remember our true identity. The only way
Yeah.
that I can do that is sharing it constantly with whatever I see all the time in my mind.
See.
And that's the way that this course collapses time so quickly. Because it
So
links directly to the other.
you talk about anger and crying, and at some point though, you do see, like for instance, just the other day, my sister sent me this, what she called a 9/11 on my father, who was 85 years of age. Sometimes he forgets to take his medication, and when he forgets, he ends up in the hospital. He's fine with dying. My sister, not so much. Fine with him dying. So she sends out this 9/11, and they're always trying, my brother and her are always trying to put him into a home. And my father's like, no. And I have conversations with him, lucid, clear. And so she lives in grievances, and you can see it. That's her projection of the world, is from this place of victim. And she can be really biting. She can be, you know, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm sick of this family, you know, all of this grievance stuff. But at some point, don't you just see it for what it is? You just see that she is, you know, trying to hook me into her story by calling me names or blah, blah, blah. And you just have empathy for it, but you don't react to it. You don't feel, I don't feel sad. I don't feel angry. That's her story.
You accept it for what it is.
What
That
it
is
is.
that is that is the character that she's supposed to play. Your only responsibility is to see Christ in her, which is the light that we were talking about, without saying any words or without trying her to change anything.
Right.
I was just yesterday talking with my mother, and I had to come to a point when I talk with her, I was kind of like half an hour listening to her happiness about Trump situation and then about the pandemic. But I found that I was so happy just being there for her.
Uh-huh.
Other times I was saying to myself, what the fuck am I listening to this? But this time around I was there just being loving, just being present and accepting her for whatever she was passing through, knowing that she was not that. And it
Yes.
was a very loving moment that I for the most part, enjoy. she didn't know that I had changed my mind about what the conversation should be, even though I have told her, listen, I don't give a fuck about those subjects many times because she's my mother and I'm very sincere with her because she knows me. She knows who I am, to sorry. But he cannot
Yes.
have it. And you know, that brings us to the moment when we finally say, I done with this judgment thing because it doesn't bring me peace and it doesn't benefit anybody. Judging. And
And so
then
yeah, so
that's the
there's
part
so
that
when go ahead.
knowing everybody just as they are without trying to change them.
And when
And
you
that's
asked
the
her,
part that you start being happy, truly happy all the
yeah,
time because
yeah,
your happiness doesn't depend that your sister is happy.
right, exactly.
You can be happy for her.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have to be unhappy for her. I can just be happy for her.
Exactly. I told Adri yesterday, your happiness, or the day before, your happiness is my happiness, but your sadness is not mine because I'm not gonna take it. I
Right,
know it's,
right, right.
I know it's not real. I can take your happiness because someone that is linked to our reality, but nothing else.
But when you were talking, Astrid, about being, you guys have cried together, you've gotten angry together. This was earlier. This is, I mean, what triggers that for you? And was that sort of more of a past experience with the course and not so much today? Or do you guys still find yourselves getting frisky with each other in that regard?
I mean, it doesn't happen so much between Adriana and I because we
Yeah,
know too much. It resolves really quickly.
sure.
And Adriana, what was specifically with the figure of Adriana, what I've noticed now is that even way before the course entered our relationship, our experience, we were already doing forgiveness, overlooking, like the true forgiveness, and we were already without even knowing it, not doing the people pleasing or the private thoughts. I mean,
Mm.
our relationship has been just like everything has come out, and it's been, we're quick to get to the point of forgiveness. So for me, this is the most intimate relationship that I have. And I think
Yeah.
that the challenge for us now, which isn't really a challenge, it's to maintain specialness at bay, because it could turn into a special relationship. And that's where we would enter into some kind of, we would enter into trouble. But we're really conscious about how she represents the whole sonship for me and I represent the whole sonship for her. And this is an experience that we have that we know is possible with everybody.
Yeah.
We can extend this experience with everybody. So practicing this and knowing that the forgiveness, the overlooking can happen quickly because we've already had that experience in our relationship. When I talked about crying or being angry, it hasn't been because of anything happening seemingly happening in our relationship. It's with other
Yes.
special relationships in our life because we both are mothers. At some point, she was in a long-term relationship. She was married, and I'm in a long-term relationship now. So all of those special relationships can trigger stuff. And what's great about this experience is doing this for a whole year has been that when I feel that, I know that there's a lifeline. I know that
Yeah.
that at some point I'm going to connect with her and it's going to easily dissolve because she represents, yeah, she's
I will slap
uncompromised.
you badly when you come with this shit to me. And you will do the same. Stop doing that. Stop
because
the baby business.
because
You know better.
the she comes in with truth, obviously it's firm, it's uncompromising, but it's loving. And although I know, but sometimes you need this other person lovingly and firmly and to tell you, what are you doing? You know,
Yeah.
and to help you get over it. That's why she says we never, like, none of these videos end with us. We always end in laughter. We always end in peace and in
Right.
resolution.
Yeah.
And it happens quickly because the Holy Spirit is present, because we've given this over, and from the beginning we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what this is for, we're just giving this over. So we understand that time limits or having a script or having a specific, this having to look inform specific in a specific form, we gave that up. We never
Yeah.
even talked about that. We were just like, we're just gonna do this. I don't know what's gonna look like. I don't know what's gonna happen. And the result is that I didn't think that there could be like a more deeper relationship, but there has been. And then you understand that that relationship or that deepening of intimacy and relationship is not with the figure of Adriana, it's not with the figure of Astrid, it's with our true self.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's very little confusion, I think, or no confusion here. So when there is confusion, I know that there's a lifeline, there's a representation of a real true love and intimacy in the figure of Adriana that can help. So the triggers are just normal, just
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
for, you know, because I haven't, in my mind, I haven't resolved completely the egoic identity. I still think that I am Astrid. I still think that I am this body. I still feel pain, and I still feel, you know, some, the difference, you know, I'll feel the egoic emotions, but the difference is that I know what it is, I know where it's coming from, and I know how to resolve it. And the way that I resolve it is giving it over to the Holy Spirit, who resolves it for me, because I'm not
Yeah.
doing anything more than just giving it over and choosing peace and choosing to see things differently. I want to see this differently. And that's basically the prayer all the time. Show me how to see this differently, where I can see the whole sonship pure, innocent, and at peace with
Yeah.
me. And that's something that I can't do with the self. I can't do it with the ego, because the ego can't understand that.
No.
So this is just support. I feel like this is our
Yeah.
support group.
Yeah. 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 No, it's beautiful. I mean, I don't know how we get through life, truly. I mean, I don't know how to get through life without this kind of support that you speak of.
Yeah.
I mean, we can obviously get through life, but that's an ego presence, and it's not really getting through it. It's just dealing with it.
Suffering.
And to be able to have someone like you've had, and for me, it's been my non-dual teacher, who, the problem with my non-dual teacher is that he's so limited in his perception of, like, he doesn't hold the body as something that is a part of truth, in sense that it was created for us to be here to express this truth or falseness through. So for him, and I understand to be rather classic in the strict non-dual traditions, they don't care about the form. So he's always sick. He's close to death for the last 15 years that I've known him. And it does have an impact at times when I share something with him, what I get back, I can almost predict what I'm going to get back. It's just so narrow in those non-dual expressions. I'm not the form. I'm not the story. Okay, great. I'm not the form. I'm not the story. But the form at this particular point in time is being attached to, or the personality as being, I can't see beyond it. And so just to be told that I'm not that, I've gotten this far with it, but it really hasn't been, I think with the Course in Miracles, it's brought a greater breadth to the understanding, a greater depth to the understanding. It's connected dots that have not had connections.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
because the metaphysics of the Course is that what you're talking about, that we're not, we're not this body and the world is an illusion, but it doesn't help to tell someone that when they're in a state of mind where they're in pain.
Right.
It's not the most loving thing, because we still believe that. We believe that we're this body, and we believe that this is quote unquote real. And the Holy Spirit is the one that has to teach us. And what's great about the Course is that it comes in and it uses what we believe in to take us out. Because that type of thing is negating the strength of what is the power of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
The power of the mind is the one that fabricated this. The power of the mind believes in this. So to negate the illusion, to negate the body, it doesn't help, because you're negating then the power of your mind, which is the power that's going to basically ultimately unwind you from that belief. So the Holy Spirit comes in where you're at with your beliefs, with what you have in your life, and says, give me all of these beliefs, give me all of these things that you're believing in, and we're going to wash them clean. And what he gives back is just pure truth. It's a process that we have to let the Holy Spirit do. Saying that it's untrue negates your human experience, which is not going to be helpful.
Right.
What I think that is happening for you in the process of your teacher is that he's giving you the opportunity to start asking your questions to yourself and stop trying to find the questions in him, because obviously he cannot give them to you at this moment. And that is not bad and that is not good. It's just the next step that is coming for you is to get a more intimate relationship within yourself and start asking all the questions to yourself, because within you, there's a self that really knows what is best for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just be grateful for your teacher, of course, and keep loving him until the last moment, but stop asking him questions that he will not answer. Give him that peace, because he's always, whenever you go to him, he's saying, but this student of mine hasn't learned anything all this time, and I'm about to leave this body, and he is always asking me the wrong questions. Give him the gift of not asking him anymore.
Yes. And I
Go
really
there,
don't.
give him a hug, give him a kiss, whatever he can accept. I love you, I'm grateful, and that's it. And you will see that you will get your answers, because they are within you. So stop crucifying your teacher.
Yeah, no, I stopped asking him questions a long time ago when I realized in part that what I was always getting back was basically the same answer. And so I was still left with the question. I went to the monastery. He knew I was going. He never said, don't go. When I got to the place of realizing that I can't stay there, and I said to him at one point, I'm thinking I'm going to leave. Well, Friday was the day I was thinking that I would leave. And I had mentioned that to him. And when I told him that I was leaving on that Monday, he's like, I couldn't imagine how you were going to stay there till Friday. So he won't tell me go early. He won't guide me in that regard. No. He just holds the space for this truth to find its expression. And then I find out later, oh, he knew that this wasn't the right place for me to begin with. but he never said don't go. He never said leave early. He never said, he just let me find it.
Mm.
So from that place, that's the way our relationship has always been. In the early days, for the first year, I don't know if I said this yesterday, I used to come to him. I said, did you bring the guillotine today? I need this gone, meaning this mind. Because back in the day, when you know just enough to know that this mind is driving you absolutely crazy, but you don't know enough to turn away from it or how to turn away from it or to give it over, it just drives you nuts. So I'd ask for this guillotine, please, lop the head off. I don't want this anymore. Did you bring it today? He would just like, it's up to you.
So, yeah.
Did you bring it? Did you bring the guillotine? I hoped one day he'd just say, yes, I brought it. Let's get this done. But he never did.
It's up to us, each one of us.
It is. Well, that was 15 years ago. That's when I was just, really starting off in this, understanding this, what's true in this life, No, I wasn't even understanding it then. I was just being exposed to it. Yeah.
Yo estoy completa ya.
Sí. Complete. Okay.
It's nice being here with you both. Really is.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, whenever. I'm just gonna say bye. I'm fully done today. And
Adios.
it's raining and I cannot hear very good and I don't want to enter because it's too dark in there. So, I mean, not dark.
Sí, está bien. It's all good.
Everything is a joke. Dale, pues sigan hablando ahí o vas a cortar. Te quedas en el...
No sé.
All right.
I'm good. Are you good,
I'm
Gary?
good. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for reaching out.
Okay, whenever we connect, we will let you know in case you want to join us, okay?
I will anytime I can.
Whenever, okay?
Thank you. Enjoy your
Thank you,
day.
girl. Have a great day. Enjoy your avena.
Like it's all voluntary. Like we're not
Yes.
going to be offended.
No, I get it.
Okay.
I know that much. I get it.
All right.
Thank you.
Love you. Gracias.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. How I do this. Okay.